And we're continuing on, and we'll put some more olive green and sap green, raw umber. And with trees, I like the splash idea, and also the finger painting idea works good with trees, I think. In this smaller format, I would say. For a larger painting, like an 18 by 24, I don't think that would work so well. But on this smaller painting, the finger painting technique works good to get a little bit of interesting variation to the look. And we can blot too, a little bit of tissue sometimes, just to get a couple little bits of variation also. When we're sort of finishing up our final details on this painting, then we can add in maybe some finer, maybe we can use a needlepoint brush and put in a couple small branches and things just to maybe give it a bit more detail, but it looks pretty good as we're going along here. And I might do a couple stone type basically rectangle shapes and squares, and that's all we need to do. Rectangles and squares for the stone shapes, just to give it that stone look. And some horizontal lines. Then we can mix in some alizarin crimson maybe with some of the stone, and maybe add a little bit of that alizarin crimson here and there just for some interesting color variation. But again, the raw umber and raw sienna and yellow ochre, that's kind of our main colors we're going to use here. And we'll continue over here, more olive green, sap green, raw umber, and we don't have to, we can leave some white paper. White paper looks great a lot of times in a painting if we use it in to our advantage. So here we might think that the light is coming from over top of us, overhead, maybe straight overhead, so we could put our light insignia up here. So it might be if we were standing looking at this scene, it might be the sun might be high in the sky in the middle of the day, and it might be a little bit behind us, so it's sort of flashing onto this building, onto this beautiful mansion in the front yard here. And so we can we can use that light effect in our painting here. And again, more splashing. This is a stone wall in the front here, and again, I'll put out my colors: raw umber, burnt umber, olive green, raw sienna. Some blocks of stone here. We could add in some color variation. There might be a shadow under this top of this wall. And again, we're having fun here. We're not, I like to think of this as like strategically placing our paint onto the painting and then leaving lots of white paper, which looks good. And I'll put in this window over here. And some stone feel here on the roadway. More of a cooler color, so I'll just pick up some of that cooler blues and purple and for the burnt umber and French ultramarine blue, a little bit of cerulean blue. And I'll just try to have some movement here to kind of make the feel of the roads swaying around here. Sometimes those brush strokes like that can just really get a feel for the movement of the road coming around, and I'll use some of the color here, and we can blot up some color if it's too much. And we'll do some more color here. This is another cottage building, and then we won't go into too much detail over here on this. This is really the main focal point of the picture, this mansion here. And then so I might just do that, just a real simple and a cooler type roof here. And a couple little horizontal lines here and there, just to give us that feel of the roof. Shingles, and it might be slate. A little bit of shadowing under there. Some stone feel there. Looking pretty good. We can do some more up here. We'll do the chimney here. And we'll make this maybe a shadow side. dark up here. And a couple strategic darks here and there. And since I'm using this one brush, the number 6 travel brush, Da Vinci, Kolinsky, I will try to stick with that same size brush. I could use a bigger brush over here, but I'm just going to kind of stick with the same brush. It'll tend to give me all the same effects, and I think if we just tend to do those couple upstrokes with the branches on these trees, and that's probably enough to look fine for now. And we have some stones here on this wall going around, and some burnt umber and French ultramarine, raw umber. We're going to do just a little bit of branches here. And the same over here. Let's get some branches here, some trunks of the tree over here. That looks good. A couple over here. That looks pretty good. Sap green, olive green. Some more stone feel over here. And some cerulean blue mixed in with that green, and we'll make more of a cooler green, maybe over here, some trees in the distance. And if it's not looking great, if it's too green and we need more blue, we could tap up some of that green and just make it a little bit more green. think that's good. And maybe we'll do a few more details, maybe some we'll just do the chimney pots on the top. Here and over here. All right, that looks pretty good, and we can maybe add a little cerulean blue to the sky. A little raw umber. Just have a touch of color there. Could be an overcast day, maybe some clouds, so not too much blue sky. All right, everyone, I hope you had fun painting along here and drawing. We're using more of a simple approach here. Again, just using minimal colors, not really using a large selection of colors in this painting. Mostly sticking to the raw umbers and the gold colors with some greens. So gold and green are really the predominant color through here. And then, you know, the roof has got some blues, some cooler colors, but for the most part, we had a nice time just using, you know, like more of a minimal amount of paint, colors, and just having fun with the technique of painting with a smaller brush and splashing and getting in some details here and there and leaving some white paper throughout the painting to give it a nice feel. All right, we'll see you on the next video. Hope you enjoyed this. Bye-bye.